Blog Talk Radio.
Tell you how we do it. There ain't nothing to it. We're gonna get right to it. You ready? You ready? This is the ProMMANow.com radio network.
We couldn't get it in Tuesday night, so we're here Thursday night invading Pro MMA Now radio's time slot. We've got none other than John Prisco. We're going to have Michael Cornbread Allen, Jeremy Pender, David Crow. It's going to be crazy. Jim Davis is going to stop by. Tyler Saito joined the Big Boy Show. I'm excited. I don't know what it is, but I feel like tonight's going to be the night. Sit back, relax. This is Bluegrass MMA Live.
Now tuned into the motherfucking greatest.
Fighters first, fans always. The Ohio Valley's #1 source for MMA. Broadcasting on the ProMMANow.com radio network. Brought to you by Bangtown Fight Wear. This is Bluegrass MMA Live. And now, here are your hosts, Juan Valley and Gary Thomas.
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're right here with us. We love you for that. This is Bluegrass MMA Live, episode 179 on this Thursday, June the 26th. Brought to you, as always, by our good friends at Bangtown Fightwear. Be sure you check them out at bangtownfightwear.com. And listen up. If you're getting out in the chat room, if you're listening, however you're tuned in, spread the word. For you, our friends, 2 tickets. Turf Wars 19, this Saturday night, Turfway Park in Florence, Kentucky. Could be yours. Call in 347-884-9986. Talk to my main man in charge. Tell him you love him, too. He needs a little extra love tonight. Juan Valley. But normally you hear him co-hosting with me on Thursday night, so I thought, why not bring him over? He is from the Ohio Valley region, actually, from up in the beautiful state of Indiana. Tyler Saito, what's up, my man?
Not much. Just, ready to do the show.
You can't be like, put some emphasis in, son. There's millions listening to you. You got to experience your first live MMA event a couple weeks ago. And your dad went with you? How'd it go?
Yes, it was awesome. I mean, it was so much different from watching on the television. It was crazy.
If you missed it, you can go to BluegrassMMA.com, check out some of Tyler's dad's pictures. Tyler ran the Twitter account. We were busy that night. 3 shows, 3 states. We had you covered like that. In just a second, John Prisco is going to join us, Tyler. John Prisco, the president of XFC North America, one of my favorite guys in the business. They've got a big show coming up later this year, headlined by Junior Suncow, Troy Gerhart. We've got Andrea Lee making her professional debut on the women's side against Susie Montero. I'm excited to see what's going on. They came to Louisville last year. They were in Louisville. They were in Kentucky, Michigan, Tennessee, Florida, and New Mexico, and North Carolina. Busy company, based out of Tampa, Florida. So they've not had a show yet this year, but we'll see. We'll see what's going down with that. After that, Michael Cornbread Allen, he's the matchmaker, he's the ring announcer, he's the talent coordinator, he's a man for all seasons, manages such guys as Ricky Rainey, Joe Pacheco. He's going to talk to us about Fight Lab as they put on a show for the troops at Fort Bragg. Very pumped about that. They've also got another big event coming up in July. And then in August, they're coming our way, August 16th, to the Harris Casino in Cherokee, North Carolina, which is just on the other side of Gatlinburg. So they've got a busy summer ahead of them. And in the second hour, of course, we're talking about Turf Wars. We've got the 2 tickets for sale. We're going to talk to Pender, talk about his training camp, how it's wrapped up, talk about Jim Davis's returns. He takes on arguably one of the best amateur heavyweights we've ever seen in the Ohio Valley region. And we're going to close out with David Crow, who's kind of giving up everything, Tyler. Giving up everything. Quit his job, moved away,
Wow.
and is living in a van down by the river, eating tuna, trying to be a pro fighter.
There you go. Should be a good show.
Well, it worked out for him. And then we will record our after party, our off the air, whatever it is, where I'm sure Aaron Garrett will join us. If anybody's listening out there and wants to join us, it's kind of a free-for-all where we talk about not only MMA, but, whatever's going on. We've talked about basketball, football, just whatever, whatever we want to talk about. So, what are you excited for, Tyler? On this robust show, what are you excited for?
Every single guest we're going to have.
If you've not checked out Tyler's work, you can find it over at ProMMANow.com. Some good stuff. He's learning. He's only 20, guys. 20 years old. He's going to be a journalist, and I'm going to mold him into something extraordinary. I'm working on Juan, he's a work in progress, but I think in the next 20 years I'll have him molded into an extraordinary journalist as well.
There you go.
I may be wrong, I don't know. But real quick before John joins us, we're going to encourage you to head over to onnit.com. That's ONNIT.com, makers of such great products as Alpha Brain, Shroom Tech Sport, New Mood, all kinds of great healthy things to put in your body, as well as workout equipment such as kettlebells, battle ropes, like these steel maces, Tyler, these crazy workouts. And they've also got some great protein powder, some of the best protein powder I've ever drank in Hemp Force, hemp-based protein. It's really good stuff. If you're looking for an early birthday gift, you want to start saving up some money, I would enjoy a Blendtec blender very much. It's only like $500. But if you go to onnit.com onnit.com promo code BluegrassMMA, you save yourself 10% off any and all supplements. With that being said, it's been a long time coming. The last time I talked to this man, I got to do an hour, a little over an hour, uncut, nothing but him and I talking about the past, the future. Well, the future is upon us for the XFC as they are set to make their return later this year. He's my friend and he is yours, Mr. John Prisco. John, what in the hell are you doing?
Hey, buddy, believe it or not, I've been pretty busy, even though we haven't been doing shows. I've been working a lot.
Listen, I see the wheels are starting to churn. We're getting fight announcements coming up. That excitement, that anticipation is building. Does it feel like you ever left? Does it feel like you've, instead of going to Brazil, you kind of get to do it back in Florida now?
Yeah, none of us in my group likes breaks. It's been, it actually is very stressful to us when we're not doing shows, where most people would probably be stressed if they were doing shows. We're just the opposite. When we're not doing a show, we all get very stressed over it. So we like to be working on an upcoming show all the time.
That kind of the first part of the year was building the Brazilian brand. That's a great product, but you got to kind of be happy to kind of put the focus back up here where, the whisper's been for weeks, for months, XFC, I hear they're coming back, rumors of a show, that excitement, like I said, starting to build. It's time to start going back to work.
Yeah, we're going to be coming back, but we won't be coming back on our old network. That's one of the changes that has taken place. We have this new technology that we're going to be rolling out. It's very interesting. We think that the viewer at home is going to love it. And they're going to be embedding cameras throughout the cage. And the person at home is going to get to actually choose what camera angle they want when they're watching the fights, and they can change it as the fight goes on. And, if they want to change the camera angle, they can do it quite easily at home. Instant replay, everything. And that's going to be something that's going to be a little different that we're going to be offering. So we're going to be streaming our events, at least in the beginning.
I feel, a couple years ago, if somebody would have told me that, I'd have been like, man, you're kind of wasting your time.
It's the future,
but now
the future.
That's where everybody's going. It's that digital market kind of watch it as you want to and get those options like that. I bet TJ Alcock is just licking chops trying to figure out how to get all this stuff going.
Well, we have it's actually we're working with a Russian group that's helping us with this, and this is their technology, and we actually have the exclusive for MMA with it, so we're excited about it, and we think it's going to stand us out and make us, we were different already, but we believe this will enhance the people viewing it at home. They're going to enjoy it.
Listen, you intrigue me so much. You go to Greece, you got Russian technology. You're like Shoney Carter. You're Mr. International.
You got to do things. You got to be different, bro. You're not going to make it today. You got to be very diverse. You got to look at every angle, and we really do with the XFC. And in this industry, you really have to take advantage of it. And we're very happy with the group that we've kind of aligned ourselves with, and we think this technology will be very popular once we roll it out. And it was a bold move for us. We were on national TV for 4 years with Access, and we felt it was time to make a change and to do stuff a little differently.
Did part of that come from the success of streaming the events on your website, your international events? Did that play a role in that?
Well, that just kind of reinforced that turned out to be pretty successful, and we always felt that was the future, and when this opportunity came to our doorstep, we looked at it real hard. We went down to Fort Lauderdale, where corporate is for XFC. Actually, we set up a cage down there and had had the fighters in there at all times, and we were beta testing this technology, and it's really exciting. I tell you, when you see it, you're going to flip. It's just wonderful, and it's going to really change the way you can view a fight. It's going to bring the viewer in the cage, which is exciting.
We're going to get that. We're also going to get the return to the Sun Dome, if I'm correct. Headed back there for the next show. Yeah, we're going to be
doing more shows in Florida than, you're going to see more and more shows in Florida. We'll be doing a couple of shows outside the state of Florida, but for the most part, you'll be seeing shows back home. We're going to be in Tampa.
Is that easier for you? I know you like to travel and take the show on the road, and, you kind of found new homes in Nashville and in North Carolina, but is it just much easier to do it at home?
It's funny. In the beginning, I would have said yes, but with my group, it's such a talented group and dedicated group. The traveling was quite easy, and we all enjoyed it. And we could go anywhere and do a show, and it would be, we would get it done, and it would be at the same level as if it was in our backyard. That's one of the reasons that XFC stands out. There aren't many groups out there that can travel as well as we do.
And with that being said, it was like, what people may not know is these shows that you put on, from the East Coast to the West Coast, you have a tight-knit, small group. It's not like you have 80 employees, working at all times. You've got a small core group of people that really bust their ass and love the XFC to make it happen.
Yeah, we really do. It's not quantity as far as employees with the XFC. It really is quality, and we've got a wonderful group of employees. And it's such a small group, I can name them. Heather, who is my assistant, she's dynamite, and she takes care of all the detail. And TJ and his wife Brooke, they do. They're handling a lot of the media and the social aspect and the promoting of the XFC and the fighters. And Ken Bradley, he helps us with our production in the building. Omega Dave does our stage and our lighting. It's a small group, but boy, are they effective. And we're all like family. That's we love seeing each other. So we look forward to the shows.
That's what I was telling this story on I was on a podcast a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about MMA and what it's like to be out there away from your friends and family on Saturday nights and Friday nights. Group from Florida, XFC, that I've been, in 3 or 4 different states with, that when you go there, it's like you're home. Even you could be 500 miles from home, but you feel like it's family.
It's wonderful when you have that many people that you're so close with. That it's a fun time, and it really helps us work effectively as a group when you care about each other as much as we do, and it shows, I think, in our product.
Let's talk about some of these fights you've made, and you are right back into putting together matchups that people want to see. I'm excited to see the XFC debut of Andrea Lee. I've heard so much about her. I've seen some of her work out there. She's going to take on Susie Montero, who's a tough cat there from Florida as well. How excited are you to have Andrea on the card and get her, her first XFC appearance?
I'm very excited. Andrea was a fighter that kind of came to me through a mutual friend, Kelly Carson, who's very good at spotting female talent. And when Kelly tells me I need to look at somebody, I have to pay attention. So she was telling me about Andrea, and I started looking at her, and I was very excited about what I saw. Very well-rounded fighter, and tough, very tough. As you saw, her heart was tested in her last fight. She was on the undercard in Legacy, and she went. It was a unanimous decision, but she's saying it was the toughest fight she's ever been in. I think Andrea's going to be very special, making her pro debut. I think she's going to be a special pro, and someone you want to follow.
In usual John Prisco fashion, she gets no easy debut. Susie Montero, don't let her record fool you. She is tough as they come. She battled with Jessamine Duke. She battled with Pearl Gonzalez. She's a fighter that. And
Susie's gotten a lot better. Susie's at American Top Team now and been there pretty religiously. She, if anything about Susie earlier in her career, she was, she has children, and she wasn't in a mode where she could really focus on her training. She didn't have that luxury. But the past year and a half, Susie's been very dedicated and very dangerous. When she fought Pearl, I don't know if you remember that fight, but Susie was very dangerous off her back, and it was one submission attempt after another, and Pearl managed to elude them and then finish the fight herself. And we saw Pearl with Courtney. You remember with Courtney, it was one submission after another. It was amazing. And then Pearl wound up catching Courtney. So Pearl she's getting a reputation of defending the submission attempts very well.
Another fight that's been announced that a guy that I love to talk to, he's crazy, just as insane, Dave Corshane.
I knew you were talking about Dave. I could tell you were talking about Dave before you mentioned his name.
When the first time I ever talked to him, John, he was wrestling. He was on the wrestling mats doing an interview. Didn't even quit. Just kept going. I was like, we can wait. You can have a break. But no, he kept going. And he's a guy that at moving to 55, he looked extremely well. He's coming back. You've got to be excited for that fight at 155 pounds.
Yeah, Dom O'Grady surprised me against Eric Reynolds, and I think Dom deserves a shot now with Dave. And Dave is Dave is a lightweight that moved up to fight Sapo, and it's difficult enough to fight Sapo, but to move up in weight class to fight him was, I guess that makes Dave that much more insane. But Dave's going to be fighting Dom O'Grady. Winner of that fight will get a shot at Scott Holston.
Impressed me about Dom O'Grady was how he composed himself after the fight. They asked him what was next, what have you, but he talked about if you guys felt that he was worthy, he would like to come back, work his way up.
Well, it was funny when he was saying that. I kind of to myself saying, these are the kind of fighters that you want on your roster, and you don't usually hear a fighter say that. When they ask him, well, do you want a shot at the title now? You feel you deserve it? Then you beat Eric Reynolds. And he was like, I don't deserve it. I'm new to the organization and I need to earn it. And it was very refreshing to hear a fighter talk like that. And I like Dom, and I'm glad Dom's on our roster. And Dom's had a great career thus far. He's held belts at King of the Cage in multiple weight classes, and I expect Dom will be an impact fighter with the XFC.
Absolutely. A guy that I want you to tell me a little bit more about is one of your more recent signees who's going to be in the main event. Talk to me about Troy Gerhardt. You know, this is a local Florida guy who's on the rise.
Yeah, Troy is I've been following Troy since the beginning of his career, and Troy was always one of those guys that, well, he won the Bellator tournament. When Bellator first came out when they were on, the Fortes, when they first came out, and they had a tryout, a big tryout in South Florida, and Troy wound up winning that tryout, and then Troy was a local fighter to Tampa. He's from Bradenton, a couple towns away, and we had mutual friends, and one of them being Eric Reynolds. So I got to be good friends with Troy and his dad, and we would meet. We had mutual friends, and I followed Troy's career, and I was very impressed by Troy. He has a stellar wrestling background, but Troy always was like, he was always moving around. He was with this girl, he was with that girl, and he just never really focused on MMA the way he should. But the past year and a half, he's been over at one of the Gracie schools that Matt Arroyo runs, and Matt has Troy training very hard. And Troy's going to be a very tough fight, and certainly fighting Junior Sunfield is a very that's a very challenging matchup. And Troy could very well beat Junior. I mean, Troy's very dangerous.
And a fighter like Junior, who, like many of your fighters, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's strange because it's kind of fitting of your promotion, but loyal to the XFC. I see him tag you and post all the time talking about waiting to get a title shot, waiting to get a fight. You know, he's a guy that's committed to the cause, coming back for the main event. And you know that after when he wasn't able to fight in Michigan, you know he's coming. He's ready to put on a show for the American fans.
Yeah, so Junior just fought in Brazil a couple of weeks ago and did very well. And I've always loved Junior, and Junior's just so respectful of the promotion and myself, and he's just a wonderful fighter to have on the roster. Junior, I've been close with Junior from day one, from the first day I signed Junior. Then Junior went on to UFC for a couple of fights, and he was released from there, and the story of that was Junior wasn't released due to poor performance. Junior felt he beat Ross Pearson, and he was very vocal about it. And in UFC, sometimes when you're very vocal about things, they don't take too kindly to that, and they released him as a result. And I picked Junior up, and because Junior still had a lot of gas in his tank, and he's just such a talented fighter, I wanted him back with the XFC, and he was happy to come back.
Absolutely. Coming back to Florida, do we have a date set yet, or are we still tentative right now?
No, it's that technology I told you about is the reason for the delay, brother. We'd be doing shows by now if we weren't waiting for them. We didn't want to start doing shows without them being able to have the ability to beta test their technology, because these shows are so expensive to do, and we wanted to have them do what they needed to get done. So we've been patiently waiting, and that's the tough part, because we're ready to go. But we believe we believe a lot in this technology, and we believe it's going to help us make a major breakthrough to the point where we're not going to be on a TV network, not a big network. We're going to be on some smaller networks. We were willing to give that up for this technology and to focus on the streaming. And we feel more and more people will be able to see us. And when you watch the XFC, chances are you're going to become a fan. So we felt it was a good opportunity for us to grow our fan base.
When people talk about the XFC, especially people that know the promotion, there's always that tinge of excitement in their voice, but none like the guy I'm going to mention here who's worked for the UFC, he's worked for Bellator, he's worked for every promotion within 500 miles of where I live, and that's none other than Gary Copeland. I talked to him a couple of weeks ago. He said he had talked to you. He was so excited. Like, because he's been with you for so long now, when you have a guy like Gary Copeland who's been everywhere and believes in your product as much as he does, that just has to cement or let you know that you're doing something right.
Well, I just spoke to Gary today. Gary's one of my favorite people, and boy, is he a wonderful referee.
He's the best in my book. John? Tyler?
Yes.
I think we lost John Prisco.
Sounds like it.
Juan, see if you can get Mr. Prisco back on the phone here. Thank you, sir. What do you think about John Prisco so far, Tyler?
He seems like a nice guy, you know.
He's passionate about his product, and that's one thing. Some promoters can be salesmen, but like John feels like he treats it like it's his baby, and which it is, and he's very open about it.
I agree. I mean, it's going to be a big show after, almost 6 months not in the U.S. They're coming back.
Have you watched any of the XFC shows before?
I think I might have actually. I think I might have caught a glimpse, not, watch a live card, but a replay or so, because it sounds familiar.
All right, we've got John back on the phone. I got to know.
I'm sorry about that, brother. I accidentally hit the mute button on my phone and then get disconnected. I've been doing that a lot lately. I got to be more careful.
Tell me about your conversation with Copeland, because I can't get off the phone with the bastard.
Well, what happened was one of the reasons why I left Florida, I was very unhappy with the officiating here. In Florida, they had a boxing commission, and these guys didn't know anything about MMA, and many times they were just they were out of position. They were making guys stand when they were going for submission attempts, and it was just stupid shit was going on, and it frustrated me to the point where I'm like, I'm getting the hell out of this state, because they weren't fixing the problem. I was unhappy with the commissioner they had. They got rid of the commissioner, thank God, and things are definitely getting better in Florida. One of the reasons why we're coming back, and they allow us to bring our referee, because Gary is branded with the XFC. Everywhere we go, Gary goes.
Absolutely. Like I said, he's one of my favorite people in the world.
He's one of the best referees I've ever seen. Nobody takes charge better than Gary Copeland when he's in the cage.
I often ask him, do you ever second guess yourself? Do you ever think, cause sometimes he'll take criticism for letting a fight go too long or calling it too short.
I've never seen a bad stoppage with Gary. I mean, that's the God's honest truth. I can't tell you one stoppage that I was unhappy with. He just does a fantastic job.
He says, I'm 100% confident that I'm doing the right job, and if I wasn't, I wouldn't be doing it. And that says a lot.
Yes, and Gary's one of those guys that where every time there's a stoppage, he'll actually look my way and you see, if I'm upset, Gary is very cognizant of doing a good job out there. So Gary always he'll come over and if they trying to have to stop it because so Gary, I agree 100%. It's a great stoppage, and I've never had a problem with any of his stoppage. He lets the guys fight. He's a fighter's referee. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. Well, John, I appreciate you doing this. As we will talk again as we get closer to the event. I'm excited. The XFC Nation is excited for the return. The names that we've come to love. The rising stars will be back. Man, keep doing great work. I'm excited to see this technology.
We're going to do it bigger and better than we were doing it before, brother. We're determined to come out strong. So we appreciate all the love and you talking about us to the fans.
Absolutely. I'm getting my tickets ready to head down to Florida for XFC 28.
Awesome, brother. Well, I'll have you right up front by me. I look forward to seeing you.
John, take care, man.
Thank you, brother. You have a good night. Bye-bye.
There you guys go. John Prisco with the XFC coming back, doing it big. New platform, a little different. Streaming, I mean, you've got to have that in your repertoire. Now, obviously, I think they'll make a push, Tyler, for a network at some point. But if you don't have the ability to either get your fights out there in a alternative fashion, we see what Fight Pass has done. We see, with promotions now that do what the UFC did and stream on Facebook.
Even Metamoris. I mean.
Yeah, Metamoris. What'd you think about Dana saying that Metamoris could end up on Fight Pass?
I don't know. I mean, I'm probably going to get this one actually coming up. The Chael Sonnen, Galvo, and who else? Lister and Barnett. I'm really pumped for that, but I don't know. I wish they would just keep it separate.
You don't like the idea of Fight Pass kind of soaking up some of these things?
I mean, it brings more. It's going to bring more viewers. Like Invicta's there, and then if they get Metamoris, that's just it'll definitely bring more viewers. But I don't know. I just like the ability to be able to buy what I want, pretty much, not have to subscribe and just you do get everything, which is good. But I'd rather just buy a card here and there rather than keep paying for all of it.
Are you saying that you're not going to wake up tomorrow, or I guess Saturday morning at 2:30 and turn on Fight Pass to watch UFC in New Zealand? Is that what you're telling me? You uncommitted, casual, cotton candy eating fan. I can't believe you. I can't believe you do that. Or wouldn't do that. Weigh-ins are tonight at midnight.
Oh, on the edge of my seat. Can't wait.
I can't wait to see Soa Palele get naked in New Zealand to make weight.
But I am pumped for that match. But, that's
Rap Trouble Cornbread. He's got one more trial left. Let's see if I can get him here on Facebook. What's been piquing your interest this week, Tyler?
Well, actually, I had quite the eventful weekend.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, my girlfriend broke up with me. All right.
Oh, no.
Ow. That hurts.
She found out about Juan. She knows Juan.
All right, but so I also went to my first jiu-jitsu tournament.
Did you compete, or you just go watch?
Oh, I competed.
What? Have you been training jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, for a little bit, on and off, and I want to get the experience, but it didn't end well. So,
Wait, what didn't end well? The tournament?
And the relationship. So.
Wait, did she take jiu-jitsu too?
No. She'll watch and stuff sometimes. She did anyway. But anyway, so we drove to Columbus, Ohio after we broke up, so it was really awkward. And then I got like no sleep, and then I got choked out in about 15 minutes, or 15 seconds, not minutes. And so that was my weekend.
Lose your girl, get choked out, but guess what? You're still standing, son. You're 20 years old. You've got a cock like a maniac. You're in good shape. Don't even worry about it.
But it was a good, the tournament was pretty awesome. It was Extreme Grappling Open.
Yeah, from they were from right there in Indiana.
Yep. Yeah, there's one in Indianapolis. I think I'm going to try and go to in August.
But you went to Columbus.
Yeah.
You should have called Juan. You could have left your girl with Juan.
Yeah. I should.
Anyways, getting away from that.
I got Tom Bakley on the case to track down Cornbread. He's a hard son of a bitch to get a hold of.
Good. I'm guessing, like everybody else, that when they see the New York number pop up on the call ID, they're like, "Who is that?"
We've talked to him before.
Yeah, how long ago? Would you remember something minute like that?
If they said, I'm going to call, yeah.
I mean, personally, I would too, but you know how some people are. It happens all too often.
It does. But that's okay, because there's the three of us to talk. It's no big deal. We're good. It's like a family here.
Well, I feel like any story I say from here on out will never live up to what Tyler just said. So it's like, why even talk? Like, let's just end it, call it a night, and go about our business.
Wait, I missed the part. Why did she ride to Columbus with you?
Well, she drove me. She was going to drive me. I don't have a car.
Oh. So be young.
At least she was nice enough to drive you that 2 hours.
Yeah, it was we stopped at her family's house to stay in Cincinnati for the night, and then we woke up, and it was just terrible. I got like 4 hours of sleep, and it was just...
You should have went to Juan's house. He lives in Cincinnati.
Really? Well,
could have stayed. Yep.
You could have stayed. He'd have got you drunk. You'd have been over this girl in at least... How long, Juan? How long would it take him being with you? How long would it take him to get over that girl?
I mean, 5-10 minutes. But what would have sucked, though, is he would have went to the ego tournament hungover. And that 15-second loss might have been like a 7-second loss.
Yeah. You know our goal, Tyler, at some point will be to corrupt you. You know, we feel like you're that little brother that we can pick on, yet show you the ways of the world.
Well, I'm glad you view me that way.
Well, sorry about your girlfriend. You just went to her damn graduation, that ungrateful bitch. What's up?
No, stuff happens.
Hey, no cussing till the third hour. What's going on here, man? Jeez, we're not even 30 minutes in.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Censor that out in the podcast, Matt McCarthy. I'm excited this weekend. I'm going to Owensboro, Kentucky for Indestructible Fight Club number 2, or Fight Night number 2. Justin Decker's in the main event. If you've not, go to BluegrassMMA.com. You can read my interview with him. Juan will be at Turf Wars. Remember, we've got 2 tickets to Turf Wars, 347-884-9986. We'll get you in the door. We'll get you in the running for that. This week, we'll be sending out our Adam Grizzly Nash shirts to the winners of that, so congratulations to those. Juan,
you know what also I'm doing? Hey, so you did the Adam Grizzly Nash shirt giveaway. So I thought, I'm going to follow in your footsteps and do something different. So I interviewed Jeremy Pender last night down at Vision, and towards the end of the interview, I put it out there that I'm giving away an official Jeremy Pender walkout shirt.
Well, so you're going to give away a Pender walkout shirt. I thought you were going to auction it off. We go away from that?
No. This is something different. You got to listen to the interview. The article's up on BluegrassMMA.com right now. Check out the article, listen, watch the video, and it's at the very end of the video to find out how to win the shirt. I'm not going to tell you here. You got to go there and listen to it. But yes, I'll be giving away a walkout shirt, and it's going to be signed by none other than the Ponyboy himself.
Listen, Ponyboy wants to know exactly what you would do to get Tyler over his girl.
I would take him down to Vision MMA and just leave him there. Oh, so wait. So, Gary, you know how I told you what happened to me at Vision the other day? Jeremy doesn't know because he's inside the wrestling practice. You bastard. You already told him.
I told him today, yeah.
Dude, I was so pissed. Dude, my car when I woke up this morning. So for those of you who don't know.
Yeah, let's not keep it an inside joke here.
Yeah. Long story short is I was interviewing Pender. It started raining. It rained for 30, 40 minutes. The whole entire time my sunroof is down. My car gets drenched on the inside. There's puddles of water everywhere. And so I woke up this morning. I cleaned it all out as best I could, and I thought I did a great job. Woke up this morning, and the car smelled horrible. All my windows were fogged over. It was just bad. And, of course, it wasn't fully dry. So when I got to work this morning, my back was drenched with water. So, to say the least, it was a bad morning.
Wow.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
So I blame Pender. So actually, I think he should pay me for something.
Well, listen,
like dry clean something.
What can you dry clean? You gonna take your shirt? Take him to dry cleaner?
Something. They can pay for it.
Yeah. So Wild's gonna be at Turf Wars. Upcoming shows we've got coming up down the pike. I'm not sure. I'm not looking because I'm getting a message here. All right, Cornbread's waiting on us.
All right, stand by.
All right. You'll like this guy, Tyler.
All right,
ready.
I'm ready.
He thinks he's a Sith Lord. Are you up on your Star Wars stuff?
Yeah, pretty decently.
Well, maybe that's why your girlfriend broke up with you, son. Grow up. Oh, shit. Just kidding, man. Just kidding. I hate to keep rubbing salt in the wound, but that's how we do it here.
It's all.
This weekend at Fort Bragg for the great men and women down there. They're serving our country. Fight Lab, once again, will put on a show that will feature some of those men and women in combat. Who better to talk to than the guy that makes the fights? He announces the fights. And it's like, besides Kenny Letts and Tom Bakley, he's like one of the driving forces for Fight Lab. Michael Cornbread Allen, what's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
I thought you was dodging us, man.
Nah, I was actually considering leaving because Kenny Letts was trying to put me in a room, but because I love the men and women that serve our country, I decided to stay. So.
Well, listen, I saw your Facebook post today, and it's concerned me about this talk of girls that are scantily clad. You may say the F word in the cage. Just what kind of operation are you guys running down there?
We're running a place where you can come and you don't know if you went to a fight or if you went to a party and fights broke out. So that's how we run our company. If you don't like it, go to church and see a fight. I don't know if to tell.
Kenny Letts told me the last time we chatted that you get such stage fright before your ring announcing duties that you have to drink a couple beers. Or you may drink those beers inside the cage.
I have to have 2 or 3 cold ones, just to get the talkative juices flowing, and so I can do my best work and entertain the people. Every once in a while, my mouth overrides my behind, but for the most part, I try to keep it in check.
All joking aside, you are about to embark on a busy summer, and that kicks off this Saturday night at Fort Bragg with a big card there. I watched your fight picks. I got a little insight to some of these fighters. When matching up this card with some of the men and women that are there and some of the fighters from that area, how excited are you to get to go down there, not only for the competitors, obviously, on the matchmaking side, but to see the men and women of Fort Bragg get to come out and enjoy Fight Lab at its finest?
Man, it means the world to me, bro. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, we do a lot of different venues, and each venue sort of has its own personality. Obviously, we go to Coyote Joe's. It's a country western bar, and we try to play on that. And then we go to Grady Cole. That's our arena stadium show. We go on top of the Epicenter, 4 stories up in Charlotte. Obviously, that carries its own uptown vibe. And when we get to go to the military bases, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, it wouldn't matter if every fight was awful. God forbid that they ever are. But we get to see those the Army personnel or the Air Force personnel and see a smile come on their face, because the reality of it is this: you look at them and you look in their eyes and they're happy, and you never know if next week they're going to get called off to duty. You may not see them again. That's so for me personally, it's a special place in my heart. I know it is for Kenny and the rest of our crew. So I mean, it's really something special. It really is. Whether it's Fort Bragg, Shaw, Seymour Johnson, wherever we go, we love the troops.
What's crazy is keeping up with Fight Lab over the last couple of years and seeing the pace of things. This kind of kicks off a fever pitch. I believe you're going back to Grady Cole Center in July. Then you're heading to Cherokee, North Carolina at Harrah's in August. Like the extra workload, because I know not only do you do this, but you matchmake for warfare. You got your guys that you manage. You're running a gym. You live the hustle and bustle, and you just got married. How are you keeping up with all this shit?
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I've always looked at myself as a like a superhero in combat sports, and I always, brag about, how I can keep going and going and going. But I'll be honest with you, this has caught up with me. I was just telling Jesse Herzog, he just dropped me off to my room, and I was telling him, I said, man, I just got married, I think it was 3 weeks ago, and then I went on my honeymoon. I come back, I had time to unpack, and then I had to leave and go to warfare. And then I got back from warfare. I had time to unpack, wash the clothes, train Mike Williams for this fight, and then I had to drive down here to Bragg. Not to mention my son was at wrestling camp, so I had to go pick him up and then come straight here. When I get done with this, I'm gonna go home Sunday, and I'm gonna take at least Sunday and Monday, take some time with my wife and try to, for 2 days, enjoy being married, and then I'll jump back on it for July for Fight Lab 38 and August 16th for Fight Lab 39. But yeah, I make do. Luckily, Tom and Kenny are a great support system. My wife is the best. My kids, they know what I do, what Dad does, and they love it. And I, the one thing that helps me the most is I work with the best. I don't deal with the I call it the Chitlin circuit. I work with the best promoters in business, Andy Hall and Kenny Lett. I do business with Bellator. My fighters are top notch. They train. They don't play around. So it's easy when the people that you work with are motivated and top notch and want to be the best. I guess that's really how I do it, because if I was dealing with some of the other stuff I see in the business, man, I'd probably quit.
Where does it come from? Do you get more motivated by seeing the products and the fighters doing well, or more motivated at the task that's at hand and getting them ready? Or is it kind of...
it goes a little bit both ways. With Fight Lab, the biggest thing that gets me motivated is to be the best. I don't like to lose, and I'm sure you've probably seen the look on my face when my fighters lose, but I don't like to lose. And the one area that I've always felt like the one area of business that I do, I've always felt like that with Fight Lab, I can control that. I seem to have a lot more control and influence over helping Fight Lab be the best than I do for, say, with the dark side of MMA and the jiu-jitsu and the management. So that there's so many other variables that stuff can go wrong in that line of work. But with Fight Lab, I put my all into it, and I love it. And I work with two of the best guys in the business for their areas of what they bring to the table. Kenny, he's always coming up with these new venues. Every time I doubt him, he comes up with something new, and he comes up with this crazy stuff. If you could see the Silver Hammer before we do a show in it, you would laugh. You'd be like, "There's no way they do a show in this. This is not possible. It's a box. It's a literal box, and it's empty. There's nothing there. It doesn't even look like it has electricity in it." And next thing you know, 4 weeks later, it looks like a rock concert. And I remember when he said was going to go do a show on the roof of the Epicenter, I just wanted to choke him. I was like, "That is absolutely the dumbest idea I've ever heard in my life." Who comes up with this is a true story, guys. There is in South Park, Charlotte, there's a apartment, like condominium complex, and there's like these restaurants, and in the center of these condominiums going like 12 stories up in the air, it's like in a circle, and in the middle of them is this big fountain. I'm not lying. Kenny took me and Tom out to eat one day at this restaurant, and we're sitting outside, and he told us that he was in talks to have the fountain shut off and put the cage on top of it. And he wanted to charge admission to every one of the people that lived in the apartment complexes that could sit out on the balcony. We're talking like 12 stories up, 4 buildings in a circle, and he was going to try to charge them admission to sit on their own balcony at their house and watch the fights. And I remember I thought to myself, that is absolutely the second dumbest idea I've ever heard. And then I remember the first dumbest was being on top of the Epicenter, and I doubted it. Luckily, he didn't go through with that one, but that's a Kenny Lett story for you.
Now, he told me the story of having to take apart the cage, that nobody was there to help. I guess the first time you guys had a show there to take apart the cage and haul it up and down, it was a disaster afterwards.
Yeah, it was bad. And did he also tell you that he tried to get me to help, and I told him I had a phone call, and I was on my phone, and so he dialed my number, and it rang because I was just trying to figure a way to get out of it. Yeah, he busted me. But after that, I was just forthcoming. I said, look, guys, Tom can do the cage. He's got his crew. That's what he does. I do the fight. Don't ever ask me to do the cage again. So I've never touched so much as a piece of steel. I don't even get near it. Like, if you want to run me off, get me near the cage when it's being broke down. I'll leave. I mean, I promise you, I'll be the first one out of the house.
I love it. I love you guys just because it's Kentucky, and it's amazing that I am as familiar with Fight Lab as I am, and I feel that that's a product of you and of Kenny and of getting to know Tom. Do you get that everywhere, all up and down the East Coast? I feel like people know, if they don't know anything about North Carolina MMA, they know or should know what Fight Lab is.
You're right. I mean, I would like to think that after 38 shows, we're a mainstay in the MMA community. One of the double negatives, the double-edged sword about Fight Lab is we strive to do everything right. We strive to put on the best fights, and for some reason, I would like to think it's me, but I know it's not. For some reason, when guys get in our cage, they lay it on the line. I mean, I've seen some of the fighters that fight for us. I've seen them fight elsewhere, and they're some of their fights are boring. They seems to be sort of lackadaisical. But when guys fight for us, they put it on the line. And I've literally, over the course of the last year and a half, maybe 2 years, I've really noticed that the double-edged sword is that guys won't take fights with us unless they're ready. I mean, they flat out, a lot of them will tell me, they'll say, I want to be ready when I fight on your show. I want to have a full camp. I want to be healthy. I want to have good training partners. And it's a double-edged sword. But the good news is that it's it's a testament to what we do. Guys know that when they fight for us, that it's the real deal. And that means the world. That's what we're about, and it means a lot to hear guys say that. So hopefully we're doing what's right.
Well, I mean, you're a guy who's taken your fighters elsewhere. You fought on different promotions all over the country. I've always said that when you feel big time, you act big time. When you get that big time feel, you act like you're a big deal. And I just feel that's something that Fight Lab puts on, that a lot of promotions, they may have the bright lights and the fancy equipment and all that, but if there's no heart and soul behind it, it's kind of like everybody, you can see right through that.
Yeah, the biggest thing is energy. And I said it when we first came online. When people leave our show, we want them to say, man, did I just go watch some fights, or did I go to a party and some fights broke out? And it's the energy. I mean, from the passion, from the time we start the card, from the time Kenny says, okay, we're going to Fort Bragg. I promise you, believe it or not, no matter what else we have going on in our lives, Fort Bragg is on our mind. And that's Kenny, Tom, and myself. And then a couple weeks later, it stretches to our DJ A-Rod. He's the only DJ we use. The fighters, when they give us their music, they don't bring CDs to the table. We've got an online process. They can go on, they can upload their own picture, they can put in their walkout song, the artist. They've got up to the week of the fight to change it, and DJ A-Rod monitors that stuff all the way up until the week before the fight, and then he goes in and he uploads it. He's got the red corner, the blue corner. He's got the order of the fight. The guy that does our flyers, William Johnson, he's from the time the fight is booked. Again, from the time Kenny says, okay, we're going to Fort Bragg, Williams trying to design a poster. He's going through thousands and thousands of pictures that our photographer, the only one we use, Greg Briley, best mixed martial arts photographer in the business. He's been with us from day one. He goes through all them photos that Greg took over the last 38 fights, and then he looks at the card and he finds the co-main event, the main event, the big ticket seller, and he finds the best shot of them that we have. It's just passion from the beginning to end. It's a passion, it's an energy. And then when the day of the fight comes, man, it implodes. It just explodes right there in front of everybody, and the crowd feels it. You can't. I promise you, when you put your heart and soul into something like we do, good things are bound to happen. And we may never be on TV. I don't know. Hopefully, I would like to think that we would, because I see some garbage on TV. But we may never be on TV. But I promise you this: the shows you see on TV that's not up to par. The reason they're not up to par is because somebody went to a Fight Lab show. That's just the bottom line of it. It's the truth. So.
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. Your dynamic is such that on a big product, but your moving parts there's not very many of you, Kenny, Tom, your DJ. You talk about the photographer does an amazing job, but it's such a core solid group that when people put on a show to the magnitude that you guys do, you would think that there was 50, 60, 70 people involved.
Yeah, and that's definitely not the case, because Kenny's cheap and he wouldn't pay 50, 60, 70 people. But no, you're right. You're right. But I will say this though, the three main components that really does the majority of the work, me, Tom, and Kenny, you would be surprised how much of a difference that makes. And a lot of people don't realize not just how much hard work goes into doing a promotion, but how much hard work some of these other promotions is trying to do with one person. Andy Hall down at Warfare, let me tell you what, man, that's the hardest working man in MMA, bro. He is. People can say what they want to about him. Guy works his ass off, and the problems that he has, a lot of that is because he's a one-man show, and you got to give thumbs up, to anybody that's trying to better the business. We're just fortunate that the three of us came together, and you're right. It does seem like we have 50, 60 people. What's amazing though is that we do probably have 20 people in support roles that work every show, and from our walk, I don't know if you guys have ever paid attention, but when the fighters walk out, you'll see these guys with white shirts, or sometimes yellow shirts. Sometimes it says Ninja on their shirt. Sometimes it says Jedi on their shirt. But those guys, that's our private security force, and those guys, they're at every show, dude. They every single show we have, no matter where it's at, there's 6 or 7 of them, and they keep the order from the fighters, from the time they're in the locker room, to the time they're in the warm-up area, to the time they're in the staging area, to the time they walk down to the cage. They're in the care of that security group. And those guys are priceless to us. DJ A-Rod is priceless to us. Greg Briley Photography, William Johnson, Randy Watson. He's our apparel guy. He sells our apparel, our Fight Lab apparel every single show, no matter where we're at. And those guys, they love Fight Lab. It's a cult. It's a cult, man. It really is. I got the pit puppy tattooed on my rib cage with a black belt on it. Dude, that's real stuff.
Dedication, man. You can't listen.
That's dedication.
That ain't coming off.
And hey, listen, bro. We have fighters. We have fighters that have the pit puppy tattooed on them. I'm not gonna call their names. It's not just one, and it's not just 2. I know of at least 4 guys that have the pit puppy tattooed on them. And granted, some of them train with me, but all of them don't. And that means something. And when you've got guys like Kevin Ferran, I know you was just talking to John Prisco from the XFC. When you've got guys like Kevin Ferran and Keith Richardson, Ricky Rainey, guys that have moved on to bigger shows, for television, like the XFC and Bellator, and those guys cut their teeth, and they chose to fight for Fight Lab. Not just once, not just twice, but as amateurs and then on pro fights, sometimes for less money than what they would have got to go fight at Wild Bill's against tough opponents. They're putting it on the line on our show. Man, that right there tells you you're doing something right. And we'll have a few doubters like the vendor guy. He don't like me dropping the F-bomb. He don't like the half-naked women. I don't know who in the hell don't like the half-naked woman, though. That's what I couldn't figure out. I can understand the F-bomb thing. I get that. I get not liking the F-bomb and me, because I'm pretty ugly. But the half-naked women, come on, man. What's wrong with you? That's why you ain't sell no shirts.
Model in them shirts. You can't have plus-size men modeling your shirts. I'm just saying. I've tried it.
Man, you can't have. Could you imagine if me and you was wearing the Fight Lab thongs up there? Who would come to the show?
Yeah, maybe nobody. We couldn't even get that on YouTube.
Nobody. Ain't nobody come to look at Kenny Lepp at the show. They come to see the Spring Girl.
Cornbread, we are out of time, my man. Fight Lab 37 goes down Saturday night at Fort Bragg. Big fight, and then in the upcoming weeks we'll be talking about Fight Lab 38, Fight Lab 39, Fight Lab 173. Shit, who knows where this Fight Lab road is going to take us? But I appreciate you doing this. Anything you want to say before we sign off?
Hey man, first and foremost, thank you all the guys over there at Bluegrass, man. We appreciate you pushing our show. Number one, mixed martial arts radio online, man. You guys are great. We appreciate you. Appreciate everything you guys do. Fans, we love you. We appreciate you and the people out here at Fort Bragg. Saturday night, we're gonna put a show on for you. Ricky Sachs and Jason Salvo, they're gonna lay it on the line. Jesse Herzog, Tony Rogers, two of the best lightweight amateurs in the region. They're gonna put it on the line. We're gonna have a good time. Then we'll drink some beers after, and then we're gonna come back and get ready. Like you said, Fight Lab 38. We'll see you guys in Charlotte. Thank you, guys.
Have a good one.
Cornbread Allen, man. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir, brother. Peace.
There you guys have it. Fight Lab, the best damn fight show in North Carolina. No offense to anybody else, but I don't know you. If I don't know you, you probably ain't doing something right. Just saying. We're going to the top of the hour. We've got Jeremy Pender on tap. We're going to talk about Turf Force. 2 tickets to give away. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Intimidation Clothing has proven to be the biggest supporter of local MMA in the industry, sponsoring the top regional events across the globe. While other brands come and go, Intimidation is a brand that represents stability, with over 110 different styles of high-quality t-shirts, hats, hoodies, training gear, and more. Browse our premium quality merchandise at IntimidationClothing.com and use Radio 10 to save 10% off your order. When you think local MMA, think Intimidation Clothing. Nobody supports local MMA like Intimidation. Nobody.
Tune in to Louisville's #1 combat sports show, The Knockout Hour, every Sunday morning from 9 a.m. until 10, right here on 1450 WXVW. Host Kelly Patrick and Gary Thomas bring you the top stories from the world of boxing and mixed martial arts. The Knockout Hour is brought to you by BluegrassMMA.com and the Kentuckiana Agency of Transamerica, the home of tax-free retirement.
You're listening to the Ohio Valley's #1 source for MMA. This is Bluegrass MMA Live. Now, once again, your hosts, Juan Valley and Gary Thomas.
Hour number 2, and we are not playing around. 2 tickets to Turf Force to give away. Tyler, if you've never been to a local MMA event, your cherry has been popped. Tell them what they're missing out on.
A lot of fun. I mean, it's crazy. The atmosphere is awesome, and you gotta at least go once.
Once a month.
Yeah.
And if you don't go anywhere this month, go to Turfway Park, one of my favorite places to go. Rumor has it, weather permitting, They're going to do it big, do it outside. The only event I've been to that's done it right outside is Turf Wars. Returning to the program, looking to make it 2 wins in a row. We're going to talk about training camp. We're going to talk about his sponsors, talk about his new attitude. He is Jeremy Ponyboy Pender. Jeremy Pender, it's fight week, baby.
What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Have you gotten the bath yet, or how's that wake up? Where you at? Where you weighing right now? It's Thursday night.
Right now, I'm at 136.
Wow.
I'll wake up in the morning, and I'll cut 6 pounds, and I'll be ready to go.
I was going to say 141. I didn't. I thought maybe you cut a little bit more weight than that day of.
No, I like to go real easy day of.
Is it harder to do it consecutively like this, coming off a fight, jumping into training camp, and then cutting weight again, or is it easier knowing that you've just done it? You can fix some mistakes, or maybe try something that worked for you in the last one. You know, what's the comparison like?
This one was way easier, man. I was coming off a really hard, a really long training camp. Actually, I had like 8 full weeks for that last fight, and I took about an afternoon and a morning off, and I went right back into training and didn't miss a beat. So we're ready to go. It really feels like I had like 10 or 11 weeks to train for this fight. So.
Train hard, fight easy. You're coming off a big win. Earlier, you're looking to make it 2 in a row against James Douglas, who, much like you, has been around for a long time. But I feel like, and we touched on this last time, but like I see it so much more on the regular, and I think people are getting drawing so much more positivity from you. And I know that's a conscious effort, but how much easier is it to be positive than it was to be kind of a condescending butthole?
Well, it's a lot better for me socially. I have a lot less people want to kick my ass all the time, so it's a lot better that way. I mean, it's easier for my family and friends to be around me when I'm more positive. I feel it's easier for me to impart information to students when I'm more positive. I don't know, it just makes everything easier, man. Like, if I don't get down on some stuff and stay looking at the bright side, nothing seems too bad.
Absolutely. So we talked to you before your last fight, and we know a little bit of preparation went into this. How much did you train specifically for James Douglas? Because he's a guy that a lot of people know. We've seen him fight at Turf Wars. Both of his pro fights have been Turf Wars. He's coming off a win. How much was specifically for James, or how much was it sharpening the tools that Jeremy Pender has?
0% was specific for James Douglas. Everything for the past probably 6 weeks have been, I've been training to get better, training to sharpen everything up, make everything crisp and concise and nice and pretty. So what I've put in my mind is I'm not training for the person that I'm fighting. I'm training for a championship fight in the UFC. Honestly, like, I'm trying to push as hard as I can and be able to be competitive with the best people in the world.
That's what I like to hear, man. So many people get caught up, and it's not a bad thing, I don't think. I think some people have to kind of know their opponents, and when you get to a certain level, there is a stage of game planning. But with you being so fresh, coming off a win, nobody knows your strengths better than you do.
Right.
Not James Douglas, not anybody.
I feel like not a lot of people have seen everything that I can do. I'm a little over 30 fights into my MMA career, counting all my amateur fights, and like, I've really only got to show a little bit of what I'm capable of, and it's kind of frustrating. I want to get out there and punch and kick and elbow and knee and do all that good stuff, and I've really been working hard on my wrestling. I want to start taking people down and getting on top of them and punching an elbow in people's faces.
Talking about positivity, and then we go to brutality.
I don't want to be brutal, man. It's just stuff that I'm working on.
It's this is a rare. When I say rare, I've only seen you fight in person one time. So this is a rare opportunity for friends, family to kind of make the short trip over to Florence to get to see you perform. How is it, knowing the family can come? I know Marissa will be there, Max will be there. So many people from the gym can be there. Is that better for you, or did you kind of get caught up in being the road warrior?
There's pros and cons to both sides. I like being able to sleep in a actual bed, not a hotel room, and like get up and go to a restaurant that I know and like have a nice breakfast and hang out with people that I'm used to hanging out with the day of the fight. But there's also a nice change when you're out of town and you get to get into mentality of, I don't know, I kind of think like, oh, I'm here to beat somebody up in front of all their friends. So
I guess sometimes you can embrace that role, but then sometimes, like you said, it feels good just to kind of be at home. What I've enjoyed in the evolution of Jeremy Pender is I got a peek at your website. You've got some supporters, some sponsors on board. How has that been? Because that's a hard thing for a fighter to take on himself. A lot of people try management. I know you've tried management before, but to go out there and do it yourself and have those personal connections with people who are supporting you, how's that been for you? What's that experience been like?
It's, as far as the sponsorship stuff goes, it's a numbers game, man. I'm trying to associate with as many good companies as I possibly can, good people as I possibly can, and get a bunch of good, like-minded people on my team and support me, and I can support them. It is hard doing everything yourself. I have had a lot of help in the past, and I still have a lot of help getting stuff done now. But for the most part, all of the networking and contacting is through me. I'm a firm believer in, this is my dream, so there's nobody that's going to come to my house and be like, here, let me do this for you. Let me make all your dreams come true. Like, it's kind of, you have to do it for yourself. So, but I'm kind of embracing that mentality, just going out and grinding and looking for people to promote me and people to promote through my website and my Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all that good stuff.
The 2014 World of Technology, the website right now, ponyboymma.squarespace.com, where you can find all things Jeremy Pender. I got to ask, tell me about Timothy's, a guy's name associated with a spa.
Oh, Timothy's A Spa, yeah. They do, it's kind of girly, but it's cool, man. There's some Bengals players that go there. They do, like, really, like, space-age alien technology facial stuff. They do the manicure, pedicure deals, and the guy who runs it is, he's top-notch. He works with a lot of famous people with the makeup. He's one of the best makeup artists in the city, and he's got a lot of really good people on his staff. And if you ever need your face done up, or you want to get some good spray tan action going on, or you just want to get pedicured and manicured and took care of, the Timothy's A Spa is out in Madeira. So if you ever want to stop by, I highly recommend it. They do these things with these lasers, man, on your face, and it's crazy.
Erasing the wrinkles of your Fender.
Do what?
You're not even 30 years old yet, are you?
No, I'm not. I am 27.
Young bastard. Listen, Tyler is 20, and Tyler, I think you would look good in the Team Ponyboy official walkout shirt. I got to say, it's one of my favorites out there. I'm not just saying that because it's Pender's, but it kind of, you've got the, you kind of get the best of the MMA gear, victory through sacrifice, putting these shirts out. Of course, it's got Jeremy's name on there. Then it's got the skull. Everybody loves skulls. This is with a twist. The kick-ass mustache.
Right. Yeah. You gotta throw the cliche skull in there because it's an MMA shirt, and then I had to do it up my style and put him a little mustache on there.
I like it. Guys, you can go to Jeremy's website right now and order it. Will you have any at the fights for sale?
I will have a limited number of sizes and T-shirts available at the fights for sale. They're $20 if you get them from me, and they're $24 on the website because they charge me to sell stuff. So
hey, that's part of the business, I guess. But we talked about you staying busy after your fight against Yanez. Booked almost immediately. Not looking past James Douglas. I think it'll be a great fight. But I mean, how do you keep this ball rolling?
I'm trying to fight. I did an interview with Juan, was it yesterday? And we talked about it. I'm trying to fight like 4 or 5 more times this year. I want to get at least 6 fights in this year, and we've already got a couple on the horizon scheduled. Just got to get them contracts signed. One will be in Indianapolis, and I told Juan yesterday it's against Orville Smith. It's a rematch for the MFS or whatever.
Nice. He's a guy that's not been too active here lately. I feel this is in your favor.
No, I mean, I think that this is going to be his quote-unquote retirement fight, and he feels. I know that he feels like he should have beat me up. He feels like I'm not as good as him, and I feel like I should have beat him quicker and more brutally. So.
You get to do it
right,
you get to be the spoiler again.
Right. Yeah. It's certainly not going to be any easier for him this time.
No, I could imagine that's a good retirement fight for anybody. 27 years old, hitting his stride at this point in life. Man, I'm telling you, I've been loving what I'm seeing coming out of you. It's I can remember when I first started Bluegrass MMA, you commented and you're like, if you're just going to be another MMA website, nobody wants to see all that. And I was like, what? Who the fuck is Jeremy Pender? What he know about this? Who would have thunk it?
Yep. I mean, I just don't want people to jump on bandwagons and take advantage of popularity in sport. And you guys have proven through your wherewithal and ability to go to 100 shows a month and that you are down to ride. So I'm with you guys till the end.
Hey, listen, we ain't playing around. We're gonna hit. Last year we did. There's 52 weeks in a year. We did like 63 shows.
Wait, I thought it was 88.
I don't know. I'm just making numbers up. It's more than
right.
We went to more shows than there were Saturdays in the year.
Right. Listen, Juan, I heard about your dry cleaning getting screwed up. Let's do this. We have a bet, right?
We do have our bet.
Let's change the stipulations, and if you win, I'll pay for your dry cleaning.
Well, I really don't have a dry cleaning bill. I was just kidding.
Well,
I'm just
I'll
trying to
get
make
it
you feel
dry
bad.
cleaning for you.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll go ahead and take it to the nicest cleaners that I know, which I don't know any cleaners because
they will press his T-shirt,
right,
and it will be nice.
You'll have your jean shorts and your T-shirt will be pressed perfect.
Wait, was he wearing jorts yesterday?
No, just kidding. I was.
Listen, Juan tells me at the gym that it was so packed that you guys had to go outside. That's got to be a great feeling, seeing the ups and downs that Vision MMA has had over the years. To have like a legit packed gym, people in there sweating and busting ass.
Yeah, man, awesome. We have so much more stuff to offer now. Our facility's huge. It's got a lot of nice stuff in it. We're doing our jiu-jitsu program. We're doing a wrestling program. We're doing youth boxing, youth MMA. We're doing a program called Combat Fitness, which is our attempts to wean people off of the CrossFit cult and kind of learn some stuff that'll better your life instead of tear your knees up and make you hurt yourself. But I had to throw in a little jab at CrossFit. But the combat fitness is going awesome. All of our classes are usually packed, man. It's awesome. The gym's growing. We're constantly getting new people in. I love it. It's a blessing.
In the words of Kenny Powers, people play real sports. They aren't trying to be the best at exercising.
Exactly.
So, well, man, we're out of time, Jeremy. The fight's going down Saturday night. You can follow him on Twitter at PonyBoyMMA. Like I said, PonyBoyMMA.squarespace.com. He's got the shirts. He's got the sponsors. It's a new Jeremy Pender. But enough about me telling people about that. Jeremy, it's your turn to tell them about all the great things that are going on with you.
You pretty much covered, man. Follow me on Twitter. Trying to get my followers up. I've only got like 205 or something like that. So you guys need to get on Twitter and follow me at PonyBoyMMA. I'm on Instagram too, same name at PonyBoyMMA. If you want to get on the Facebook and check me out, it's Jeremy Ponyboy Pender. And I'd like to thank my sponsors, Three Kings Bar in Covington, which they will be hosting my official after party if you want to come and party with me after I win on Saturday. And then Timothy's A Spa, of course, Doobie Nice Clothing, Victory Through Sacrifice Clothing, Vision MMA, and I'd like to thank all my training partners and my coaches for helping me get ready for this stuff. And of course, Bluegrass MMA.
That's right. That's how we get down. Jeremy, I'm excited. I won't be there, but Juan will be there. And it's going down Turfway Park Saturday. If you've not, get your tickets. I'm sure Jeremy can hook you up. Or you can call in, win 2 free tickets to go watch Jeremy and pick you up a Pony Boy shirt. Man, enjoy that last 6 pounds. Weigh-ins are tomorrow night, and it's game time come Saturday.
Hell yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.
There you go. Jeremy Pender. Got a big fight coming up Saturday. Juan is in the switchboard. Tyler, what? I know you want to get to an event. What's up? When we gonna go?
I don't know. I have to look into it, but I definitely want to go to another one soon.
We'll get you close. We get you there. Did Rick Toms give you a shout out like I told him to?
Okay. Yeah. Yes, he did.
He did. The ring announcer. What about that? Did you feel special? I always feel special when Rick Toms in Bluegrass MMA.
Well, a little awkward because everybody was looking at me, and I was like,
You're a superstar, son.
I was a little bit nervous,
Did you wave to the crowd? That's me. That's me. Juan does. Juan kind of gives a little wave, like, hey, that's us. What's up? The best part about going to MMA shows, for me, and we've said this many times, is that MMA family. And you got to meet some of our family and Robert Wolf and Rick Toms, one of the best ring announcers in the business. It's definitely something where when you go out, you see the same people. You get to know a lot of the different fighters. You get to know kind of how things work behind the scenes and front of the scenes. Which brings us to our next guest, who is a guy who we've seen fight. It's been a minute, but brings a huge crowd, is a great personality, is a hard-hitting son of a bitch. He's with us right now, Mr. Jim Davis. Jim, what's up, brother?
Hey, how you doing?
Man, I appreciate you taking the time out to join us tonight. The fight is in just a couple days, and it's been a minute since you've been in action. How has this training camp been for you? I know the fight was supposed to happen on the last Turf Wars. It's going to get to go down Saturday night. Are you ready?
I think I'm ready, yes, sir. It's been a pretty good training camp. Brought in some old buddies from Vision and some old friends, and just a lot of big guys, and we just been going at it, kind of old school.
Speaking of old school,
I mean, fun.
You're one of those guys that's been around for a while. You got to see a lot through your career, dating back years ago, and it's been a couple years. What brought you back? What was that, that deciding factor to come back and welcome the new breed, such as Jesseray Childrey, into the professional ranks?
Well, as you know, one of my dear friends and training partners passed right at the time of my last fight, Chris Smith. And that had an effect on me as far as training and everything. So I took some time off, man. I really wasn't into it. And switched shifts at my job, and didn't have time to train properly and stuff like that. So getting back into it, I started getting in shape again. I started getting excited and going to the fights and watching everything good, all the other fighters fight. And I really just wanted to compete again. And when Rod and Kerry approached me with this Jesseray fight, I said, yeah, let's try it. Let's do it.
I've seen, like you said, I've seen you out and about at the fights, enjoying yourself. How hard is it for you, from a guy that's been there and been in competition, to sit back and watch your friends or watch these guys go at it, knowing that you still have something left in the gas tank?
Well, it is kind of tough. But then a lot of people sit back and they say what they could do, or they could do that better, or back when they were fighting they could do this better. And so instead of sitting back saying it, I'm going to actually give it a shot. So I'm going to, I know this guy is pretty talented, and I heard he's a pretty nice guy, and I'm actually looking forward to it.
The one thing that if people were to look up Jim Davis and notice is that, your wins, it does not take you long to get the job done. Like I said, you're a heavy hitter, and that's kind of been the biggest criticism of Jesseray Childrey, is that his striking isn't up to par. Even though he's not lost, when he's fought strikers, he's shown weakness. Do you feel that that's the good matchup for you? You're a guy that can go out there. You have the power to put it away early. How do you see this stylistically matchup for you?
Well, it's no secret. I like to bang. And, I was a super heavyweight for most of my career, as you probably know that. And I just, I like to get in there and throw hands and get hit. And I like that part of the competition. I really do. And stylistically, I've actually seen Jesseray fight a few times. And, I think he could take some punishment. I've seen him, in some trouble and come back and do good and end up winning. So, I got a lot of respect for this kid. So, I think it's going to be a good matchup. I know he is more like a jiu-jitsu type, wrestling type fighter. And, that's where my camp's been, trying to prepare for that. But, I'm excited. I think it'll be a good fight. I think I would myself rather fight a striker, but, I would rather fight someone that is not going to try to take me down, you know what I mean? But we can't all have what we want.
Going back to the last time I saw you fight, you have that crowd, you have that support behind you, and I'm sure that's going to be there Saturday night. You get to fight locally. I know you're familiar with Rod and Kerry, and you fought for Turf Wars before. What's that like for you?
Yeah.
You kind of get to come back. You kind of get to be the hometown guy. You're going to have that support there. That's got to be a great feeling, right?
It is. There throughout my earlier parts of my career, I think because I was super heavyweight and I was knocking everybody out so quick, I kind of got a little following. And, it seemed like people recognize me. And, a lot of people support me. I mean, people I've never seen before, walk up and say, I can't wait till you fight next, right? I'm glad we came out tonight to watch you fight. So I've been getting that quite a bit lately. When you going to fight again? We used to love to go watch you fight, and I think that is somewhat the reason why I want to try to get back into it and compete more. And, no matter, this fight, I've already accepted to fight on another card, too, after this, so I just want to keep it going.
What's the biggest difference?
In the hometown. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, what's the biggest difference, now that you're back in, you've got a couple fights lined up, what's the biggest difference in Jim Davis 2007 and Jim Davis 2014 as far as getting ready for fights, taking fights, and being prepared?
Well, 2007, man, it was just all about fun. I remember we would just go to Columbus or wherever, and it would just be me against whoever their biggest guy was, and it was just really good times. I was with G-Force when I first started out, and it was just awesome being around those guys and learning with training with a lot of the guys that are big now. Roger Bowling, Chris Bennett, just a lot of those good, talented Cincinnati guys I came up with, and it was really fun just to go to the fights with them and compete and have them in my corner. And now, the difference now is a lot of those guys are off doing their own thing. And, I'm kind of doing my own thing, too. It's a new crop of guys to train with. And I don't know if there's much difference. It's different being 265. I know that. Cutting weight and actually having to make weight. I like super heavyweight better.
Well, I saw your pose down with Jesseray. You didn't look. I mean, you're big, obviously, but you don't look much over 265. Is there much of a weight cut for you?
No. It's gone real well. My girlfriend is really good with diets. And she helps me out quite a bit as far as that goes, and it's real easy. It's real easy this time. My last 2 or 3 fights have been heavyweight, and when I fought Dan Christensen, I don't know if you remember that.
That was your pro debut, right?
Yeah, that was my pro debut. That was really hard for me as a weight cut. And that was my first time, and that was really tough. I learned a lot from that. So,
that's what's strange about our area here. Your pro debut was against a guy who'd had, 3 fights in the UFC. It's not like you got an easy fight, right? You're the local guy. You got a ton of fans. You're undefeated as an amateur, and oh, by the way, you're going to fight Dan Christensen, who at the time was on, like 8 out of his last 9 or something crazy.
Right, yeah. Yeah, when I was an amateur super heavyweight, I went on a roll that year, and I was just knocking everybody out. So there really was nobody else for me to fight. So I had to go pro. And I remember when the ICF, you remember that league when it was around? He called me and he said Dan Christensen, and I thought for like a minute, literally 1 minute, and I said, yeah, let's do it. It was a real good experience for me, but I think a lot of people thought I probably shouldn't have took it. But I had a good time. I learned a lot from that fight. So
absolutely. How many people can say that? I made my pro debut against a straight killer. With no risk, there's no reward.
Well, that's what I thought. If I lose, hey, I'm supposed to lose. If I win, look what I just did. You know what I mean? So, and I've kind of been like that. I've tried to be like that in my career. I don't try to think that this guy's unbeatable. I actually thought I was going to beat Dan that night. So until the ref said that was it, I thought I was going to win. So,
that's the people don't understand that about fighters. You have to think that way. You can't go into a fight doubting yourself. That kind of defeats the whole purpose, right?
Yeah. I've always been very confident in myself. I can hit hard. I think I got a pretty good chance in just about every fight. So I think I'm all right.
I can attest
like
to
I
that.
said,
Jim Davis, one of the hardest hitting fools I've seen in the business.
I appreciate that. Well, that's all you got. That's all you got. You know, I'm not going to no NAGA tournaments no time soon. You know. So.
Hey, go with what you know, brother. That's
right.
Dance with who brought you. That's what they say.
That's right. That's right. And it's funny because being in for my corner in this fight will be my old coach, Ron Gableman. So I'm real excited about that.
Wow. I love it. Ron Gableman's one of the best guys in local MMA just in general. You know, trains top talent and is just a great person. I love Ron Gableman.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And I'm happy he's back in my corner.
Well, Jim, man, we are excited. This is I don't know, maybe it's hard for like you and Jesseray to kind of feel the hype, but this is the fight. Like, this is the fight that everybody's talking about. This is, you know, the big guys. Everybody loves a heavyweight fight, and they love good heavyweights, and you bring the power. He's got that finesse as far as, you know, his jiu-jitsu and wrestling. Like, this is the fight that I think is going to be the fight of the night for sure. I appreciate you taking the time out. Before I let you go, any shout-outs or thank yous or anything you want to throw out there to our listeners?
Well, I'd like to thank Turf Wars for inviting me back after such a long layoff. I'd like to thank Jesseray for accepting the fight. I don't know how he feels, but I'm probably not the easiest person he could have fought. I'm sure he could have found somebody else. So that says a lot about him and his team. And my girlfriend for helping me diet, you know. And that's about it.
Well, man, I appreciate the time. The fight goes down this Saturday night, Turfway Park in Florence. Jim Davis versus Jesseray Childrey. Jim, take care, man. We'll see you Saturday.
Thanks, brother. See you.
There you guys have it. Jim Davis. Tyler, do you like the heavyweight fights?
I do. You know, I like to see two giants.
Yet you're not going to wake up at 2:30 in the morning to watch Soa Palele fight. I'm going to call you. I'll call you at like 5:30. Because his fight will probably be early in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'll wake you up. I'll say, hey, Tyler, wake up. Here's my Fight Pass login. Watch Soa.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah, I've got Fight Pass. I've had Fight Pass since it was announced. I had it that night. Signed up.
Oh, my God.
And I'll admit, this is why I don't think Invicta will do well and why I don't think some of the other places will do well. And I may be just wrong about this, but the best part about Fight Pass is to watch events not in prime time. I like watching the events during the day, you know, like when they were in Berlin or in all those places. I enjoy that. I don't really want to watch like a UFC event in prime time at 8 or 9 o'clock at night on the computer. I would rather watch it on TV.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, that's just me. And we're spoiled UFC fans, and it's weird. I don't know. But our next guest is a guy who, it's an amazing story. He had a great job. We see him all the time at his job delivering beer. He's been on the show before, but I want to kind of give you the build-up to this. He kind of dropped everything, putting life on hold to chase his dream. And not everybody wants to do that. And I've said this before, Tyler. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to be that person, but they're not willing to put in the work to do it. Well, our next guest is the guy who's putting his money or lack of money where his mouth is. He makes his professional debut this Saturday night at Turfway Park. He's my friend, and he is yours, David the Scarecrow. What's up, man?
What's going on?
I'm just happy you're awake.
Me too.
You know, I've seen the pictures of you napping on Gomez's couch. You're asleep at the gym. Like, I've got a couch here. Anytime you just need to crash, you come to Mount Sterling. I got a place for you.
You better not offer me because I'll be there.
Listen, this is what you've been working for. This is what you've put everything aside for. Saturday night, you're going to weigh in tomorrow night. You're going to fight on Saturday. What has this training camp been like? I know you've done 2-a-days, 3-a-days, 24 hours a day. It's been focused on this fight.
It has been crazy. It's definitely been something I've worked hard for. Definitely 2-a-days every day. Some days, 2 or 3 days a week, we'll go 3-a-days. But I'm moved an hour away and left my family, and it's just me. And it's really that's all that's on my mind. And it's good for me. I wake up, I think about fighting, get punched in the face, showing with sweaty guys. It's weird, but it's becoming a life.
And you have that beautiful, beautiful girlfriend, and all you want to do is roll around with sweaty dudes.
I know, people don't get it.
Hey, Tyler just broke up with his girlfriend. Maybe Becca can hang out with Tyler. He's only 20, though. What do you think about Tyler? She's hot.
Fine. She does her thing.
Tyler's not going to answer.
She's a good girlfriend.
Tyler doesn't want you to punch him in the face.
No. I'm not.
Scott Cornwell, this Saturday night. What do you know about him? Because he's a guy that, in my database of knowledge, that I don't know anything about.
I know his name's Scott Cornwell. That's about all I know. He fought Judy Browning. That's pretty cool, I guess. But I really don't know anything. Don't even want to know anything.
We, in the latter part of your amateur career, as you started taking things serious, really make a run, how much of that momentum do you think is going to carry over into this, or do you kind of start fresh? Obviously your record's going to start back 0-0, but how much of a fresh start do you feel that you're going to have?
Well, I'm just trying to take everything that I've been rolling lately, and I'm just trying to keep it going. My record's starting over, which is cool. This is what counts now. But, I'm just trying to keep the ball rolling. I've been hot lately.
The life of a new professional, it's not like if you win, that win bonus is going to be able to buy you a new truck. So you've been really out there trying to push, getting support, getting people behind your GoFundMe. You're getting some love there. You're obviously getting some love from some gyms that have taken you in. The life of a one-man show, I imagine, is tough.
Very tough. I'm missing back home, but I'm happy where I'm at too. I feel like I'm where I need to be for what I'm wanting to do. As y'all know, Integrity shut down. So
left you without a gym.
I was running 4, 5, 10 miles a day, but like I said, I'm not running a marathon. I'm going to fight this guy. If we was running, I'm confident I'd beat him there too. But that's just not how it's working. So my girlfriend, everybody supports me, and whenever I tell everybody what I was going to be doing, they knew that it's what I needed to do. So.
The funny thing is, you talked last week that your weight was already on point. You get to weigh in tomorrow night. How you feeling there? You sound tired.
I left the gym tonight at 147. Went and had me some salmon, some broccoli, some spinach. Drank me a little water, and I'm like 149 now.
So you don't have that much to go.
No, I look fine. My face ain't sunk in. My eyes ain't black. A couple bruises from training here and there, but still looking good as ever. just a little smaller.
I've seen you in rough shape before. I feel like you're getting better at this weight cut.
Yeah. I'm definitely, after the first couple, I said, I better do some research or something, get with some people. When I first started, my very first fight, my dad had cancer, and he was in Texas having surgery. That week, I flew back, got off the plane, cut 20 pounds in 2 days. Looked like a little Ethiopian boy. Went and ate Wendy's right after weigh-in. Went back to Powell County, got my cup, came back for fighters meeting, then went and ate White Castle. So I feel like
your
good
body.
improvement.
You can do that when you're young, though.
You
I don't know,
can,
the older
but
you can't. That probably wouldn't have worked this time.
No, I'm 23 now. You know, my knees going out on me. I got to walk a little more.
Oh,
you
old bastard. Listen, that's what you get when you're around with guys like Jesseray Childrey and the beast that you've been training with. It's how has that experience been? Because I know you've trained with those guys before, but you've dove right into this head first.
Yeah.
And Jesse's training. You know, we just talked to Jim Davis, Jesseray's opponent. You know, he's got a big fight. You know, so you've been right there in camp with him. It's a crazy process that you have to go through to get ready for these things.
Yeah, I mean, they got like Jake Childress. He's like
the man child.
18. Oh my God. He is. I don't even know how to explain him. He's just something else. And then Sandro, can't pronounce his last name. He's from like Europe or something. He's the Hulk. And Jesse, I mean, for a heavyweight, that guy can run with anybody. He can row with anybody as long as you want. Flores, I used to call him Elder, but it's Eder or something. But they call him Flo. He'll be making his debut August 2nd, and I feel sorry for whoever he's with. And they have a good atmosphere. Everybody just wants to get better. Everybody's good. No matter where you're going to go, I mean, I'm all the time getting challenged. But, yeah, it's been good. Am I off?
No, I'm still here. I was talking with the mute on.
Okay.
I feel like
was that a little secret something I had to miss?
No, I was talking and you couldn't hear me, but I will repeat myself.
Okay.
I feel like the last couple years the road has been leading to this very moment. Is this something that like you get nervous for? Is it exciting? You've never been like a super emotional guy anyway, at least leading up to the fight. What's this done mentally to you?
Well, I've been ready to make my pro debut since December, but just things after things have been happening. I took some more amateur fights, and I don't know this guy, and the thing is I know what I've been doing. I know I've put in the work. I know everything I've done to do it, and that's what drives me, is knowing that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. You know, I'm not half-assing anything.
Listen, that's the only way you can be. You know, it's been quite a strange journey to seeing you take a fight on like 6 minutes notice. It's like at a Spartan show.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Crow's here. You fight this dude? Yeah, I'll fight him. Okay.
Yeah, so. There ain't gonna be any more of that, I don't think. But I've done that too.
It's been we've got to see you grow up right in front of our eyes, and it's been a fun process. We're just about out of time, but the fight Saturday night, Turfway Park. It's gonna be outside. Have you ever fought outside before?
No, it ain't gonna be outside either. Who lied to you?
Well, they were watching the weather. I thought it was gonna be outside.
Oh, well, I guess it is. The weather may have changed. I don't know. I don't keep up with them.
If it is outside, it's one of the most badass things that, like, I was there last year in June for their outside show, and to be honest, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But I've never fought outside. I guess I have fought outside, but it wasn't functioned.
fighting in the bottoms don't count, man.
No, man, I had to quit running through the bottoms. It was just getting too crazy down there. You don't never want to see.
David Crow, we love you, man. We're excited for your professional debut. I know you've got some supporters. You've got people who have helped you get ready. Now's the time to show them some love.
I want to thank everybody at Georgetown MMA, Flores, Sandro, Jake, Jesse, both the Slushers, everybody else there, Jeff, Stephen Scott, Bill Conley's helped me, Ricky Borders, love that guy, Matt Foster, Dean Rogers, East Kentucky Firearms in Stanton. Everybody check them out. HK Goodwin's been helping me out a little bit with things. I feel like I'm missing people. Matt Foster, Gary Thomas, and Juanetta. I'm bringing Juan some tuna.
Listen, people went crazy for that tuna article.
Yeah, man, it's true. It's true.
I want StarKist. Nothing less. I don't want that store brand junk. StarKist.
He's on a budget, Juan. Can't be affording that.
Yeah, dude. I just get like the 4-pack, crack the can open, and there it goes.
Hey, he's winning Saturday night, so he'll have the money. He's winning.
Yeah,
you put
sure.
Put mustard or salsa. How do you spice up your tuna?
I don't spice it.
Oh God.
I'm a cowboy.
Oh, he's a Powell County cowboy.
Girl. My hero.
Oh, well, man.
And
Juan will be there. I feel like an asshole for missing this.
I'm forgetting here. Stephen Scott, Matt Finney, my dad, my parents, my whole family, my beautiful girlfriend. I know she hates it that I'm up here all the time, but she realizes.
That's all right. I'll take care of her.
I know you will, Gary. That's why I'm telling you. Letting you know that I'm gone. You're a little closer to her than I am.
That's right.
That's right.
It's been a long time
coming.
And
the Clay City Times, they put me on the front page.
Did they really?
Paper. Yep, and I ain't even in town.
You know,
man.
I had a copy of the Clay City Times, their April Fool's edition, where they said that Osama bin Laden had been captured in the bottoms.
Wow.
You remember that?
Well,
that was years ago. But that was their April Fool's edition. We got a copy at my job, and it's like Bigfoot had been spotted at the Red River Gorge and all that shit.
They get a little crazy sometimes, but it's all right. You don't see a whole lot about it on the news. It's nothing.
Well, David Crow, enjoy your post-weigh-in, getting refueled and getting ready to go Saturday night at Turfway Park. Pro debut. Until then, man, take care, and Juan will be there cheering you on.
I really appreciate it. And a special thanks to Adam Gomez for taking me in. You know, he's got to put up with me, but he does.
Hey, it's not Adam, it's Jackie that I'm worried about.
Yeah, I don't even know.
She got to put up with both of you.
Yeah, and a few dogs. They get a little restless every now and then.
All right, brother. We'll go to bed. We appreciate you doing this, and we'll bring you back and we'll talk about the big win.
I appreciate it. You have a good one. I'll see you then.
There you guys go. David Crow about to fall asleep on us. Love that. And he is just a kid, Tyler. He's older than you, but he's not out of that kid status yet for me.
I see.
Our next segment, you'll have to find the download maybe later. Remember, you can catch this broadcast on iTunes, Stitcher, and right on the Live Sportscaster app or livesportscaster.com. You can download it on your iPhone or your Android device. It's right there at the tip of your fingers. Just search Live Sportscaster, and you can get this program. You can get the Knockout Hour, and those are really the only two shows that even matter on that whole station. It's true, Tyler. It's true. You can download it, and you can listen to yourself on there. I like listening to myself sometimes. Juan doesn't like listening to himself.
I don't like that.
I don't.
Have you, Tyler? Have you went back and listened to any of the shows you've done so far and listened to yourself?
Yes, I have.
You don't like it?
My voice sounds all nasally and annoying.
Well, listen, there's a little thing that's going to happen to you called puberty, and when it does, you get a big boy voice like me. Trust me, it's going to happen. Just be patient.
Eventually.
Tell him, Juan. Juan's still waiting, too.
Yeah. It comes eventually, yeah.
Yeah, this is Juan Valley, mofos. So, yeah, remember you can check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/BluegrassMMA. If you've not, you have followed along on Twitter. I'm BluegrassMMA. At BluegrassMMA, you can follow Tyler. Tyler, where can they follow you at?
At Konnichiwa317.
Why Konnichiwa? Are you
Japanese? 317.
Yes. 317 is area code Indianapolis.
Yes, Juan, he is Japanese.
Come on, Gage, they should know all the area codes in our general region.
I do. I knew what 317 was.
Yada 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 yada. I'm done talking to you. You're lucky. You're lucky we could cuss in the third hour because I'm gonna rip you a new one.
Oh my God! I can't wait. I'm so excited. I love that. If you've not, I want to encourage you guys to listen to the Jimbo Show. You can go to thejimboshow.podbean.com. Listen to our 2+ hours. Juan, in the first 5 minutes, gets some love from Jimbo, and it made me almost pee my pants laughing.
I didn't listen to it yet.
Maybe you shouldn't then.
No, I'm going to.
He brings up.
I'm gonna rip him a new.
Your Fallon Fox, and he's good. He's patented like the Joe Rogan-esque podcast style, not like our question and answer that we kind of do, but very much the sit back, talk, and just talk, which we're going to do in the third hour. Are you ready for that, Tyler? Do you feel you're not 21 yet, but I think you can. We got Aaron Garrett, who I'll probably rip on Aaron. Juan will try to rip on me. I'll throw it back at both of them. It's going to be so beautiful.
Shut your mouth. Announce the winner of our 2 free tickets.
Congratulations to Brian Jones. You are the winner of 2 free tickets to Turf Wars at Turfway Park this Saturday night. You can pick your tickets up at Will Call.
I would assume.
And enjoy the show.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it works. Just tell them you want the tickets. Last time we got 4 tickets. This time we got 2. Next time, probably 1.
Didn't we give away 2 tickets like last week or 2 weeks ago?
To Hard Rock.
Yeah, good call.
So,
good call.
But stay close to BluegrassMMA.com for more giveaways, for more news. Starting in July, we've got a new sponsor coming on board for the radio show. We're going to have a little competition to see who can make the most money, and then we're going to let whatever show. I'm almost positive.
Hey, by the way, that won't work unless we have unique URLs. I was thinking about that.
I'm just going to make it up the winner, and it's probably going to be a show that I'm on so I can keep all the money. But don't tell Gina and Emily that, or Kyle and David.
Okay. They probably don't listen to this show anyway, so we're good.
I'll either split the money with you or split it with Tyler. Or split it 3 ways.
Or me and Tyler could beat you up and take it all.
Listen, you and Tyler could stand on each other's shoulders, drink 3 gallons of water, and still not be half the man that I am.
Size-wise, I give you that.
I'm not half the man. All right, we're getting ready to go record this the awesome segment. Thank you all so much. We love you for tuning in each and every week, keeping up with us and our crazy life. To the MMA family that supports us, nothing but respect and love. You know how to get a hold of us. We will be back next week. Tyler, you ready to hear the outro music? It's awesome. Here it is. Love you. Peace.
You've been listening to the Ohio Valley's #1 source for MMA, broadcasting on the ProMMANow.com radio network. Brought to you by Bangtown Fightwear. Bluegrass MMA Live. Join your host, Juan Valley and Gary Thomas again for Bluegrass MMA Live. And remember, fighters first, fans always.